What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash them up right now. If you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop first. Also, if you want to skip the line, like you used to do back in elementary and middle school, even high school, some of y'all college, you can jump into the super chat. Want to make sure you comment, get noticed. You can jump into the super chat. I'm going to go in on this topic, then I'll come back, check the chat, starting with the super chat, then I'll work my way over to the regular chat. You dig what I'm saying? Make sure you smash those likes up, fam. Smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. So, Lil Wayne, during a recent episode of his podcast, he explained his stance on police brutality by passing along some evidence. If you know Wayne, if you know anything about him, if you followed him at all, then you've seen him do interviews where he talked about shooting himself when he was 12 years old. And not only that, he's vocalized several times in the past about being saved by Deputy Robert Hubler, which heavily contributes to his own personal thoughts about the police. This is what he said on his podcast. My life was saved when I was young, shot myself. My life was saved by a white cop, Uncle Bob. Wayne said this during the latest episode of Young Money Radio. So from therefore, you have to understand the way I view police, period. There was a bunch of black cops that jumped over me by that door with that hole in my chest. He refused to. He went on to say that you can't blame all cops. Don't blame all cops because, hey, all cops are not the same. He said he gave another experience he offered as evidence, but he talked about jump out boys in his neighborhood. So saying that, look, I've seen it all. I've seen the jump out boys target my people, so I'm not blind. I know what goes on in the hood. And so don't try to act like you know me like that, basically. So here's what's revealing though, fam. Ironically enough, Deputy Robert Hubler was fired in 2012 after repeatedly tasing a Louisiana man while calling him several racist slurs, including the N-word, during an arrest. Safe to say he's not the best selection for Lil Wayne's "a few bad apples" argument. Now, while Wayne admits that New Orleans can be intense, he drives home the idea that judging all cops after being mistreated by one isn't the way. He said, understand that I go through situations too. We all got our situations. Don't judge no one for no reason. Don't judge, do you. Help out in any way you can. We can only win it together. So Lil Wayne also gave his thoughts on the killing of George Floyd by police, which he echoed the same sentiment, saying that we have to stop placing the blame on the whole force and the whole everybody or a certain race or everybody with a badge. This isn't the first time that Wayne has disappointed his fans with his outlook on racism. In 2016, he made headlines when he denounced the Black Lives Matter movement, claiming that he didn't know what racism is. That's his words, quote, I don't know what racism is. So here's the deal, fam. I didn't speak initially that whole thing back in 2016. I didn't have much to say about it because I was so damn stunned. I'm like, man, well, maybe this is a fluke, but when you start seeing a pattern, you got to speak on it, right? So I'm seeing a pattern developing here, and this got to be brought, it's got to be spoken on. You see, what I'm looking at here is that Wayne, because of one positive experience in his life, he's been known to discredit the experience of others in his community, which is exactly what he's doing now, following the murder of George Floyd. It's a pattern now. See, you can say something, ain't none of us perfect, so we all gonna say things from time to time that's erroneous, it's incorrect, or say things that we really don't mean, or we didn't mean to say it in a certain way. But this is 4 years later, and Wayne had time to think about how he wanted to say this stuff. And he's had time to think about how his words emotionally injure people. It's like if Wayne had the same amount of respect, the same amount of regard for the Black people feelings that he hurt when saying the things that he say, that he has for cops and white people, then he wouldn't be put under the same microscope that he's being put under now. It's like he's going out of his way to please white folks and the police and make them feel good, and fuck what Black folks think. Fuck how they feel. This is my experience, and I don't care if y'all getting over there getting shot up, or you're dealing with the police and it's problems or whatever. He also talked about a problem that he had on his private plane. He said that he had walked up to the pilot to say something to the pilot that he hired, and the pilot told him to go take a seat. And I guess he got into an exchange of words, and he said when he landed, the pilot had called the police, and the police, thank God, the police was cool about it or whatever, and they didn't take him to jail. But, so he talked about that, okay, I got this issue, but the thing about it, he did not use the words that racism exists. Like, he didn't make the statement, of course there's racism. He just said, okay, I have problems, I have issues. But he refused to make the statement, racism is a problem or racism exists. I don't know if he purposely did that, but I just know that he did not make a point to say racism is a problem in America. And I know that there are a number of Black people that have that problem of actually saying out loud that, yes, racism in America is a problem. Candace Akundis Owens, she's another one. She back in the day, her and her mama and daddy, they sued the school for discrimination. It was some white kids at her school calling her all kinds of names and stuff. They was being mean to her and all this stuff. So they sued the school for discrimination. She won a discrimination lawsuit. Not discrimination, but it was a discrimination lawsuit, but based on racism. She won that lawsuit. And then a few years later, when she got hired by the Republican Party, these conservatives, they gave her the bag. She started backtracking and started saying, she said racism didn't exist. Now, if racism never existed, why did she sue her school on the charges of racism? See, once she got the bag, she forgot about the struggle. Once she got the bag, she forgot, oh, racism ain't no problem. Why do Black people keep saying racism exists and racism? Yes, there are problems. Listen to how I'm saying it. Yes, there are problems. Nothing's perfect, but all people aren't bad. We already know all people aren't bad. It's like somebody saying Black lives matter and then somebody else saying, well, all lives matter. Well, motherfucker, we already know all lives matter. That's a gimme. We already know that all lives matter is a gimme. But to say that in the face of somebody saying Black lives matter because Black people are being marginalized and attacked by the police, to say something like that is insensitive and it's dismissive. So when Black people start talking about this damn war on Black people with the police, and a Black person say, stop blaming all the people, can't blame all the police, we already know not every damn police officer is a racist. We already know that. But we know also that there is a culture of police officers who are. And the people that make these claims, the people that stand out and speak out about this stuff, this is what they're saying. This is all they're saying. Hold them accountable. So if we're talking about holding police officers accountable, we're talking about defunding police departments because they're using these funds to, we're basically funding our own oppression. They're using these funds to attack us. We're paying, our taxes are sending these killers, these oppressors, these race soldiers on vacation, paying for their mortgages, paying for their children's college tuition, paying for their grade school tuition, paying for their clothes. So we're saying, let's defund their asses and see how far they can go. Let's see how long that racism thing hold up when they get defunded. Because we already know America don't understand anything but blood and money. Start talking about blood or money and you're going to get somebody's attention. This is why the needle is moving right now, because you're talking about money and you're talking about vandalism, looting. You're going straight to the pocket. You hit them straight in the pocket. And this is why all of a sudden it's a movement. Oh, let's talk now. Let's talk. Because that's the only thing America understands. That's the only thing that gets their attention. If these protests were all just peaceful protests, they'd be like, they'd be out there walking out, the police be coming out the police department. They'll be looking all out the windows and shit, like the blinds, like, what are they doing out there? That shit out there. They'll come outside every now and then with their lemonade or whatever, coffee. Yeah, been out here for good watch. Pretty hot out there, man. You know, yeah, just kicking it. It's cool, no problems. But you got to be disruptive if you want change, especially when you start talking about systemic change and systemic racism. You got to be disruptive. So making statements, when somebody start talking about, when you start talking about police brutality, police murdering Black folks and stuff, you don't do yourself any good if you for the people, if you're siding with right, if you're saying the people are right and the people who killed George Floyd was wrong or whatever, if that's your stance, then you don't make derogatory statements or negative statements like, well, you know, what about Black on Black crime? You give affirmative support and you leave it at that. You don't try to air out people. You don't, oh, your son got killed. Just say your neighbor's son got killed. You don't go to your neighbor and say, okay, so yeah, man, look, man, yeah, you know, I sure hated that your son got killed. My condolences. You know, if he hadn't have been walking down that street, or, you know, if he hadn't had a record, you know, if he hadn't talked back, you know, if he had been totally compliant, they wouldn't have shot him in the head and in the back 75 times. You don't say that. You give affirmative support and you leave it at that. If you got anything else to say, you say it in private. You don't go to them and say that, and you damn sure don't publicly state it. So why is it that so many Black people, especially celebrities, find a need to always go against the collective voice of the Black community? I know that we all independent. We all got our own minds. We're free thinkers. I got that. We're different in that regard. But I do understand, but I think that that all of us can agree that the police is a goddamn problem in the Black community. The police is a problem. They target the Black community. I think we can all agree to that. And any Black person who won't agree to something like that, who don't agree to that, we already know what they're about. They're a paid agent, or well, either way, they're a sellout. But if you don't agree to that, it's something wrong. So this is why people like Candace Owens say the things that she do. She'll give some truths, and then she'll go top heavy on the criticism of Black folks. That's what she do. That's her hustle. This is what people have to understand about Candace Owens and the likes of her. It's a hustle for her to throw Black people under the bus. It's a hustle for her to highlight Black people's shortcomings. You don't see other white people and other groups going around reminding people of the bad things that about their race. Like say a Hispanic person get killed. You're not going to see Hispanic people say, and Hispanic people come for the police and say they need that cop needs to go and we need police reform. You're not going to hear one Hispanic person go out there and say, well, you know, not all cops are like that. Like Wayne didn't have to make that statement at all. That statement was totally unnecessary. If you want to speak on George Floyd, all he had to do is just speak affirmatively and say, yo, you know, I support him and I hope the man family get justice. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's like these Black people, especially celebrities, go out of their way to make sure that their white fan base and the police know that, well, I'm not like the rest, and you know, I appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate you. Look, I appreciate my white fans too. You know, a lot of people don't know, but Ghetto Boys, 80% of our fan base is white. So I appreciate my fan base also. I appreciate my white fans. But what I appreciate more is justice. So if I'm in the pursuit of justice and my white fans got a problem with it, any white fan got a problem with it, that's on them. I'm not going to be silent for somebody else to be comfortable. I'm not going to be silent about injustice, abuse, wrong, so somebody else can be comfortable. I'm not going to do that. And I would sacrifice all 80% of my white fan base to speak out against injustice. And if there's a few Black people who got a problem with it, they can get it too. They can go too. But I don't really have that problem. That's why we got a strong fan base. Our fan base understand who I am. And they support me. They understand who I am, and they understand that I ain't lying. They're honest about how this shit really is. They know this shit is fucked up, and they know that this comes with the territory. I didn't just start speaking like this. I didn't wake up after Floyd got shot and said, yo, I'm gonna be a revolutionary. Yo, I'm gonna be an activist. Yo, I'm gonna speak out, I'm gonna say something. I gotta give me some likes up and stuff. I was saying this way before the likes and the shares and the followers. I was saying this way before the subscribers. I've been putting it out there. I've been doing this for 31 years straight, not letting up, not one bit. So anybody that's got something to say about me and what my commitment or what my intentions are, then you know what they're about. Let's go to the comments and see what you guys are saying. We got some new members to the channel. I want to recognize first and foremost. I want y'all to help me bring in the new members. Show them some love, fam. Show the new members some love. They keep the channel strong and keep it going. Shirley Joseph, Stephanie Morris, Zach Mip. Who was that? Don Juan. J-Dog, Sam Alex, Shakita, that's Shakita Calloway, KG, Bruce, a lot of new members. 2010, Yaytown, Kevin Kennard. Show them some love, fam. Show the new members some love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate y'all. AK Barrow, is that Akbara Yeshua? What up? What up, Simon Carr? Serena, I see you. Yeah, we're talking about Lil Wayne today. Lil Wayne, what's up, Maurice Watson? Lil Wayne made some comments about the George Floyd case, and he was like talking about people, I guess he was alluding to people who had a problem with the police, who was, I don't know who said all police officers to make him stop saying all police officers. And I don't know why that was important to him to say, for him to say that, but it just seemed like to me, he went out of his way to make that statement, to make a point, to don't say all police officers. Again, Lil Wayne is very supportive of police, because one police officer out of the thousands of corrupt police officers in New Orleans, or hundreds at least, in New Orleans, saved his life. And so he gave them all the benefit of the doubt. And anytime somebody says something about police officers, especially if you try to group them, he gonna have a problem with that. But this officer that he's bragging on, this officer that saved his life, that he calls Uncle Bob, this white officer who he calls Uncle Bob, is not the guy he was, at least back then when Wayne was 12. At least he's not the guy that he showed Wayne. I don't know, maybe he was new on the force and he wasn't corrupt at that time when Wayne was 12. Maybe he had a good day. He was having a good day and he felt like saving a black. I don't know what it was, but Deputy Robert Hubler was fired in 2012 after he repeatedly tased the Louisiana man while calling him several racial slurs, including the N-word, during an arrest. So this is the guy that he's holding in high regard, that gives him his convictions about police officers. This guy who turns out, where it appears to, at least to him, that this guy was just a good guy, so good that he actually refers to him as Uncle Bob. And this guy turns out to be a bona fide racist. If you look at most of the white cops that work in black neighborhoods, you can take a wild guess that, yeah, they're probably racist, because that's who they put into the black neighborhoods. This is who goes to the black neighborhoods. Most of these guys, this is why people are saying that the officers need to be from the communities that they serve. At the very minimum, they should live in the city that they work in. Most of these officers come from these little small towns and stuff. These small towns where they move to actually, so they can be in their own little enclave of people who think exactly like them, who look exactly like them, who go to the same time, who got the same kind of religion, who go to the same churches, who participate in the same type of activities, who think exactly like them, who hate the people they hate and like the people that they like. They move into these small towns because they can hide and they can get away literally with murder in these little small towns. They can get away with stuff in these small towns that they can't get away with in large cities, unless they're on the police department, unless they're members of law enforcement in these big cities. Yeah, I say defund police. Absolutely, they got to go. Who is that? Triple O Amp, what's up? Yeah. Marlon Hillman, new member. Marlon Hillman, show some love for Marlon, fam. Serena, thanks so much for responding. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I'll never stop supporting your channel, ever. Appreciate it, Serena. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, realistic one said, WillieDLive let the killer out on bail. Is he out? I know they gave him a bail. Let's see. Let me check that real quick. I mean, I'm not surprised. that if they let him out, I'm not surprised that they let him out. I mean, let's see, George Floyd, what's his name? Chauvin. Okay. Derek Chauvin. Bail set for Derek Chauvin, ex-police officer. Chauvin sets bail at $1.25 million. They're gonna get him out. See, the racist, so America is just crawling with racists. And see, they're gonna bail him out because they wanna set it up so that they can have a chance to get bailed out if they kill somebody black or the next cop kills somebody black. When they bail them out, they're trying to give them incentive to kill again. That's why they do that. That's why they gave George Zimmerman like damn near $300,000 for killing Trayvon Martin. Like he actually came up, he got paid for killing Trayvon. So that's the message. And I'm telling you that, like I say, America don't respect anything but blood and money. When something like this happens and they take a hit, then you need to make sure you fund the person who giving them grief. You dig what I'm saying? Like you gotta sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. You dig? Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. When you got people out here who refuse to just go down and just die, just suffer, just get choked all the way out, and they fight back to preserve their life, and they end up getting charged for something, we need to make sure that we hit their GoFundMe up and we make them rich also. We need to make sure that we take care of them so that people can say, okay, at least if something happens to me and I fight back, if I defend the rights of another human being from being attacked, from being brutalized, where at least, I know that, my family will be taken care of and I'll be able to at least fight my case. And I won't be out here all by myself. Earl Williams, BLM, what up? Absolutely. Who's that? Boom. Man, I cannot say that name. I'll just say Timo. What up, Timo? Show Timo some love, fam. Nicole Williams in the building. Newest members. What's up, Brian? I'm never bothered by celebrities hopping on the coon train. But Lil Wayne was profiled and searched for weapons at his concerts. Weird times, man. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, but some people, some people are like in abusive relationships, right? Just like you can be in an abusive relationship with a woman or a man, you can be in an abusive relationship with law enforcement, right? You can be in an abusive relationship with racist white folks. And so it don't matter what they do to you, you always forgive them. It don't matter what they do to you, you've refused to open your eyes and see the bias and the racism for what it is. Because you're in denial. You're living in denial. It's the same thing if you were dealing with, if you had a friend, it doesn't matter what the ethnicity of the friend is. If you had a friend and your friend was not a good friend and you're constantly making excuses for that friend, it's a form of, what do they call it? It's a form of abuse. What's up, Jay Levisk? Too many descendants of slaves still worshiping the slave master's God. We know the root of this racism. Said that. You said that. Oh, wow. Bonnie Pointer of the Pointer Sisters died today. 69 years old. Oh, man. 69, man, that's young. That is young. Open system preferences. Okay, I'm trying to open this up so I can share my screen with y'all. Let's see, Zoom. Trying to open it up, I'm trying to share the screen, fam. Okay. Let's see if this works. Got it. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Let's see. Okay, let me find her. Let's find it. Let's find it. Here she is. Bonnie Pointer. There she is, fam. Beautiful lady. Bonnie Pointer was one of the founding members of the Pointer Sisters, has died. Her sister and bandmate Anita confirmed the news to TMZ reports. Cause of death was cardiac arrest. A representative confirmed she was 69. Let's see. Born in Oakland, California as a child, she and her sisters, Ruth, Anita, and June, sang at their father's church. In the 60s, Bonnie and June formed a group called Pointer A Pair. They were later joined by Anita, and the Pointer Sisters was born. The sisters released a series of albums on Blue Thumb Records that drew on gospel, jazz, and funk. Ruth joined in 1972. In 1973, the Pointer Sisters released their self-titled debut and had their first hit with Yes, We Can. Yes, We Can. I remember that. Fairy Tale, a song of their 1974 record, That's a Plenty won the group a Grammy for Best Country Vocal Performance by a Duo Group. Didn't know that. Thanks to the song's success, they were the first African-American vocal group to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. Performing at the Grand Ole Opry, Fairy Tale was later covered by Elvis Presley. 77, Bonnie left the group to pursue a solo career. The Pointer Sisters went on to find greater commercial success as a trio without Bonnie in the lineup. Songs like I'm So Excited, Jump for My Love, and Automatic. Bonnie released 4 solo albums, beginning with a self-titled debut for Motown in 78. A disco rework of the Elgins' Heaven Must Have Sent You reached number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. The Pointer Sisters reunited To celebrate their Hollywood Walk of Fame star in '94, Bonnie released her final solo album, Like a Picasso, in 2011. 2010, she played herself in the film Road to Nowhere. There it is, fam. Bonnie Pointer of the Pointer Sisters, R.I.P. Bo Man, I see you. Serena says, I'm working on getting pardoned. Thanks for the advice. Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you what, fam, you come on this channel, if nothing else, you're going to get some information. Miss Michi, what up? Show Miss Michi some love, fam. Miss Michi on the moderator, working those moderator duties. Bubba Lips Cosmetics, I see you. What's up, Marlon? I see you, appreciate you. Yeah, yeah, some people, man, like when it comes to these social issues, like if you ain't in it, you shouldn't even speak on it. Like if you're not like really in it, if you're not putting the work in, you shouldn't even speak on it. It would be best to just say, you know what, I don't even know enough about that to even speak on that. That's what I do. Like, there's nothing wrong with not knowing something. You know, perhaps it's something wrong if you're not informed, and you should be informed when you should be informed about something specific. But there's nothing wrong with not knowing something, because there's a wealth of information out there that, and we're going to be learning until the day we die. We're never going to stop having information and being able to learn something new every single day. There is so much information out there, so many things. Hey, I discover a new artist. Like, there are artists out there that's been around for years, decades. And I'll discover one of those really, really great artists about once every other month or so that I've never heard of. And, you know, a big part of it is that I don't go searching. I'm not like a music fanatic. If the music comes my way, if somebody introduced me to some new music, then I'll check it out and then I'll support it. But I'm not like some type of music historian or something like that where I gotta have it all and I know everybody. I'm not that dude. But good music finds its way to you. So if somebody's really, really good, eventually it'll find its way to you. They will find their way to you. That music will find its way to you. Good music will. Yeah, I'm trying to see who was that pointed that out to me, that Bonnie Pointer had died. I wanted to give you a salute, but you know who you are, so I appreciate you. Zoe Williams says, I can't believe we are talking about Lil Wayne in the year 2020. The Illuminati elites is blessing him right now for the distraction in the world. Eartha says, hey, Willie D, Lil Wayne opinion doesn't matter. Black lives matter. That's the phrase I was looking for, Stockholm syndrome. And no, I have not been watching Money Heist, Mr. JC. Actually, no. Stockholm syndrome. No. That wasn't the phrase I was looking for. I was looking for battered wife syndrome. That's the one I was looking for. Battered wife syndrome. So like you have people that's in abusive relationships, like women in abusive relationships that have battered wife syndrome. You got black people out here that have, what would that be called? Battered, shit, what is it? Battered black syndrome or something. I don't know, hell. Black battered Negro syndrome. Well, I'm not a Negro, so I would just say black. Okay, fam. 2 minutes since slavery. What Brian's saying? Let me see. I'm trying to catch Brian's. I'm gonna shut it down, family. I see you, George Baker. What is Brian talking about? Find Brian right quick, give a shout out, and then I'm gonna shout out the super chat one last time. I gotta move around, fam. Trying to find your comments, Brian. Serena says, I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it was Prince's birthday yesterday. You know, he would have had an album out and doing benefit concerts like in Baltimore. Yeah, Prince was the homie. Every time I hear somebody say something about Prince, like in a somber type manner, like it was his birthday or something like that. Wait a minute, did I? All of this time I haven't been sharing. What the hell was I thinking? Why y'all didn't tell me that I was still sharing? I was still on share all this time. That was at least 10 minutes. The hell? And nobody said anything, man. Y'all cold-blooded, man. Y'all should have told me the thing was still sharing. I'm looking through here like not one person said take off the share. Well, that's cold. See, y'all the type that if I was like some old dude and I came out with mixed match socks on and some gym pants and a dress shirt, y'all wouldn't even say anything, man. That's cold. That's cold, man. There you go, Brian. Would you consider yourself a socialist? Nope. Can't put no titles on me. Nope. Nope. Not at all. see Barry from Scotland in the building. Kavon Whitaker, what up? Y'all do me a favor, fam. I'll be 50. I'm old. Serena, you're not old. 50 is not old. I'm 53. And I'm telling you that, boy, I got stamina. I got stamina out of this world. You're not old. Like, if you think you're old, you'll act old. And you'll probably be old. If you're going to be old in your mind, you'll be old. But I think I'll give you a good example. A good friend of mine who's probably watching this broadcast right now. And I hope he don't mind me sharing this, but well, in fact, I know he won't, because he's the type of dude that if he can help somebody, he will. And if it got to be through his story, then he don't mind. So I'm gonna tell you this story. So my friend comes over. He's my personal mechanic. So he comes to the crib and he does some work. I had bought this car to sell. And he comes to do some work on the car. And he's, let's see, so I'm 53, so he's 56. And he's always been in shape, always type dude on the move and stuff like that. And then he got himself into an accident, and he injured himself real bad, and it put him on his ass for like 3 years or so. Could have been longer than that. And so one day he comes over and he's working on my car, and he's like, everything he's doing, he's like really moving. He's walking really, really slow. And he looking at the work, like he looking at what needs to be done, and he's staring at it like this. He's doing stuff like this. He's staring at it for 5 minutes before he start working on it. I'm like, man, what the fuck wrong with you, man? Man, why you moving like that? Man, Will, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. I said, man, dude, you ain't getting as old as you think you are, and you ain't as old as you think you are, bro. If you think you old, you better go ask that dude that's 85, because that's how you moving. You moving like you fucking 85. You moving like an 80-year-old. Like a 56-year-old is not supposed to be moving that damn slow. So, he came back to me a few weeks later and he said, man, Will, you was right. He said, man, I thought about what you said and you was right, man. He said, man, I just had resigned myself to just being old. I just felt like I was old, so I started acting old. That's what he said. He said, I just started acting old. I started like just saying, like, I just started letting myself go. And he's always been the type of dude in shape and stuff, and good with the ladies too, But he was like, man, I just started letting myself go. And, I thought about what you said, man. I'm back in the gym and boom. That's the spirit, bro. He was like, I had given up, man. He said, man, I'm just laid back, man. I'm just getting my check, collecting my check. And, I just started letting myself go, and I just feel like, man, I'm just going to sit back, man, get this check every month. And that's it, man. I'm just going to chill out, just lay it down. I said, man, dude, you got a whole bunch of living to do at 56, bro. I mean, at 56, I can see at least 20 more years of grinding, like going out there, getting it, making stuff shake and etching your name in the history books. I said, I mean, like at least 20 minimum. That's still people that's in their 70s that's making history right now. So Yeah, it's 56. Come on, man. Quincy Jones made Thriller when he was 50. Yeah. Arguably the greatest album ever made. Besides Ghetto Boys gripping on that other level. Serena said, I promise I ain't let myself go. Yeah, don't let yourself go. Don't let yourself go. Don't let yourself go, fam. Got a whole lot of living to do. Bloodhound, age of state of mind, in my humble opinion. It is. Because I'm going to tell you, man, I've seen people. I remember when I was in my 30s, I was seeing people looking like they were in their 50s. They stopped shopping. They stopped going to the store and buying new clothes. I mean, they was wearing the same stuff at 30. They had already wearing the same clothes at 30 that they were wearing at 20. And, I would see them out in the club and they just be sitting at the table, don't move, don't even get up to dance or nothing. Like they just sit at the table the whole time, don't move. I mean, I'll sit at the table, man, but I ain't just gonna be sitting at the table just the whole time, just sitting. They just go in and sit at the table, and then when they get up, they walking all slow and shit, just walking like sideways. I'm like, man, this dude is 30 years old. Why are they walking like that? And don't let them be 40. Oh, man. They'll come in the club in a wheelchair. Man, what you doing in a wheelchair? You paralyzed? Nah, man, I'm just tired. Come on, man. Don't do it like that, fam. Don't let yourself go. Jamel Frazier, what up? Maurice Watson. All right, fam. I'll shut it down. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, fam. Much love to I think I saw Rashida, Miss Michi, rocking on the moderator duties. Serena says, I don't like the number, but no, I don't look my age. Thanks. Well, here you go. Check this out, Serena. If you don't like 50, well, the alternative is you really ain't gonna like 51. And if you don't like 50, the alternative is you'd be dead. The alternative would have been to die at 49. Is that what you want? And if you don't like 50, give it to that 70-year-old. In fact, I know 55-year-olds that'll take 50. I know 51-year-olds that will take 50. Can I get 50? Can I get that 50 back one more time? So imagine if you're thinking you're old, imagine how you're gonna feel when you get to be 70 or 75. You got time to be old. Right now is the time to live, be vibrant, explore, be adventurous, get some work done, do something to leave your mark. Move around now while you still can, while you still got that mobility. Go out and do stuff right now. Move around now. Get some things done now before your body betrays you. You ain't old until your body starts betraying you. Like, I'm not talking about betraying you from an accident or whatever, but I'm talking about betraying you, in age. Because all of us, we keep on waking up. We're going to reach a point where our body is going to betray us. And, you know, we're just gonna, because we're already getting signs. If you're over 40, you're already getting little signs of your body betraying you. When you wake up and you feel a pain in your leg and then you don't remember bumping into anything, you know, you got a ache on your back and you're like, what the hell? You know, or you got to use a different razor because the texture of your facial hair has changed, you know, or you got to use a different shampoo because the texture of your hair has changed. You know, you might see some discoloration on your skin, and you're like, what the hell is that? And first thing you know, you get a certain age, you know, we start freaking out. The cancer? Oh shit! Like, you know, so that's just age. That's growing. That's part of growth. That's the growth experience. So we gotta just accept that. We gotta accept it, and that's what it is. Because, you know, I be looking like, whoa. But I've learned to not overreact to these type of things. I understand that my body is constantly changing. And, you know, the things that I used to be able to do, some things that I used to be able to do, I can't do anymore. But there are some things that I could not do as well that I am very good at right now. Very good at. Like, I do it even better than I did in the past. So, you know, that's just growth, age, you know, growth. Hopefully you live and you learn. Yeah, somebody said that hair texture thing change is scary. Yeah, it is. Mita C, what up, Mita? Be guess, no comment. Yeah, yeah. Janet Bolton says hard to lose weight. Yeah, the older you get, yeah, that weight is harder to get off because your metabolism slows down. So what do if the weight, if it's harder to lose the weight and easier to gain weight, the older you get, then what do you have to do? That means you have to eat cleaner, right? You got to eat lean, and, you know, compensate with exercise. And that's how you keep it down. There really is no other way. So as we get older, you know what I'm saying, we gotta change certain habits. You know, if we want to continue to look good and we want to be healthy, we want to live, you know, a long, healthy life, then we want to make sure that we live kind of life that we don't have to be reliant upon somebody else. Then it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we take care of our bodies, because we only get one body. What's up, John Jones? Appreciate you. You only get one body. So imagine if your body was a car and you only had one car. You can only get one car in life. You only had one car. Just imagine. Imagine your body being a car. That's the only car you're going to get in life. And this is the car you got to take care of this car. Once you wreck this car, if you destroy this car, you can damage this car. There's certain things that you put in the car could damage the engine and the car will never start again. If you wreck this car, you hit it hard enough against something, then, you know, this car could get damaged to the point where it's irreparable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's repairable. It's unrepairable. So you have to take care of it. You got to take care of that car. You got to make sure you clean it. Make sure you put good fuel in that. What's the fuel? The fuel is the food. The fuel, the body is the engine. Everything that goes in your mouth is the fuel. the food, the nourishment, that's what fuels the body. So you got to make sure that, you know how it is. Every now and then, if you got a car that takes supreme, your body takes supreme. So your body should be supreme. You should consider your body as supreme. Supreme fuel, supreme gasoline. It should take supreme gasoline, right? So look at your body that way. Now, every now and then, money get a little tight. Might not want to put, might want to put a little unleaded in there. Just regular unleaded. You can get by with regular unleaded in a car, in a vehicle that requires premium unleaded, but you can only do it for so long before it starts affecting negatively affecting the engine. So you have to use premium unleaded, supreme unleaded as often as possible. Getting off course a couple times or whatever, it ain't gonna hurt, but you got to get back on top of that horse as fast as possible. Got to get back on course as fast as possible before you mess something up. Stephen James, peace, Brother King. Willie D, drop that knowledge side. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Stephen James. Okay, fam, that's it. That's it. Shout out, final shout outs in the super chat. So let's start with Shirley, Joseph, Stephanie Morris, Zach. Is that MLP or looks like MLP? Don Juan, J-Dog, Sam Alex, Shakita, Callaway, KG, Bruce, Kevin, 210 Yaytown, Agbara, Simon Carr, Serena, Maurice Watson, Marlon Hillman, Triple Zero Amp, Nicole Williams, Boondy Gulliop, I think. Short Timo for short. Earl Williams, Brian, Winter, Bowman, Jay Levisk. Who is this? Bloodhound. Jamel Frazier, Amita C, B Guest, John Jones, Stephen James. That's what's up, fam. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, fam. No more talk.